The Kalari survey ship Windcatcher descended through Earth's atmosphere like a silver teardrop against the blue sky. Commander Vera pressed her four-fingered hand against the observation deck's transparent aluminum, watching the planet's surface reveal itself in breathtaking detail. Rolling green hills stretched endlessly beneath puffy white clouds, while vast oceans sparkled like scattered diamonds in the twin suns' light. "Preliminary scans confirm our long-range observations," reported Navigator Kale from his station, his scaled skin shimmering with excitement. "No artificial structures detected, no electromagnetic signatures, no spacefaring civilization." Vera nodded, though something nagged at her. The Kalari had been searching for habitable worlds for 3 centuries, ever since their home system star began its death throes. This planet designated as Terra in their databases seemed perfect. Oxygen-rich atmosphere, abundant water, temperate climate zones, and apparently uninhabited. "Begin detailed surface mapping," Vera commanded. "Focus on the northern continental mass. Those mountain ranges look promising for mining operations." The ship's advanced sensors swept across the landscape, cataloging everything from mineral deposits to weather patterns. What they didn't catalog were the millions of humans going about their daily lives in cities that had learned to blend seamlessly with nature. Humanity had evolved beyond the crude concrete and steel structures of their ancestors, developing bioarchitectural techniques that made their settlements invisible to conventional detection methods. In the Colorado Rockies, Park Ranger Tom Martinez paused during his morning hike, squinting at the strange silver object hovering high above. He'd seen military aircraft before, but this was different. Too smooth, too quiet. He reached for his radio, then hesitated. Who would believe him? Aboard the Windcatcher, Senior Geologist Nix frowned at his readings. "Commander, I'm detecting unusual seismic activity in the northern mountain range. The patterns are ... odd. Odd how? They're too regular. Almost like a heartbeat, but massive. And there's something else. The mountains themselves seem to be generating their own electromagnetic field." Vera moved to Nix's station, studying the data streams. The Kalari were a scientifically advanced species, masters of technology and space travel, but they had one crucial limitation. They thought in terms of artificial versus natural. Their own civilization had long ago abandoned harmony with their environment in favor of pure technological advancement. Could be some kind of natural phenomenon, Vera mused. A magnetic or formation, perhaps. But Nix's instruments were telling a different story. Deep within the Earth's crust, vast networks of living neural pathways pulsed with thought. The planet itself was thinking, feeling, responding to the alien presence above. And humanity, through their symbiotic relationship with their world, was becoming aware of the visitors. Tom wasn't the only one who'd noticed the ship. Across the globe, the Earth's human guardians, those who had chosen to bond with the planet's consciousness, felt a stirring. They had been the mountain's voice for generations, humanity's gift to a world that had given them everything. Every great bond starts with a single moment of courage. HFY Chronicle Stories is just beginning, and your support matters. If you love emotional sci-fi tales, forbidden connections, and stories that stay with you, hit subscribe. It's free, and it helps us bring more stories from the stars to you. As the Windcatcher continued its survey, Vera couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something vital. The planet felt too alive, too aware. Her people had surveyed dozens of worlds, but none had ever made her scales tingle with such anticipation or unease. "Commander," Kale called out, his voice tight with confusion. "The mountain range we've been scanning, it's moved." "Moved? Mountains don't move, Navigator." "They do on this world, ma'am. Look." The massive peaks that had dominated the northern horizon just hours ago had shifted position by several kilometers. Not through geological processes that should have taken millennia, but smoothly, purposefully, as if the Earth itself was turning. To face them in the depths of those ancient stone giants, Tom Martinez smiled grimly as he pressed his palm against the cavern wall, feeling the mountain's consciousness flow through him. The aliens had come seeking an empty world to claim. They were about to discover just how occupied Earth truly was. The emergency meeting aboard the Windcatcher buzzed with nervous energy. Commander Vera stood before her senior staff, their alien faces reflecting the same bewilderment she felt. The holographic display showed side-by-side images of the mountain range taken 12 hours apart. The difference undeniable. "It's impossible," Chief Engineer Ross muttered, his tentacles writhing with agitation. "Geological formations don't relocate themselves overnight. There must be a malfunction in our sensors." "I've run 3 complete diagnostics," Nix replied, his scaled fingers dancing across his console. "The instruments are functioning perfectly. The mountains have moved exactly 47 kilometers to the southeast." Navigator Kale pulled up additional data streams. "It's not just movement, Commander. The entire range is exhibiting coordinated behavior. Temperature fluctuations that suggest massive internal activity, electromagnetic patterns that almost resemble. What, Navigator?" "Neural activity, ma'am. Like a brain thinking." The room fell silent except for the gentle hum of the ship's life support systems. The Kalari had encountered many strange phenomena in their centuries of space travel, but never anything quite like this. Their scientific worldview struggled to accommodate the concept of a living planet. Below them, the Earth's response was accelerating. Tom Martinez stood in the hidden chamber deep within Mount Elbert, his hands pressed against the bio-neural interface that humanity had developed over centuries of cooperation with their world. Around him, dozens of other human guardians maintained their connections to the planetary consciousness. "The alien ship is conducting deeper scans," reported Maya Chen, her voice carrying the harmonic undertones that indicated she was speaking. "For the mountain network. They're trying to understand what we are." Tom nodded, feeling the Earth's curiosity mixing with its caution. "Let them scan. They'll only see what we choose to show them." The Human-Earth partnership had evolved from necessity. When the old civilization had nearly destroyed the planet through pollution and exploitation, a new generation had chosen a different path. Instead of dominating nature, they had learned to join with it. Cities grew like living organisms, transportation flowed like rivers, and humanity became the Earth's immune system against future threats. Aboard the Windcatcher, the scanning intensified. But the more they looked, the more confused the Kalari became. Their instruments detected no cities, no technology, no signs of civilization as they understood it. Yet the mountains continued their slow, purposeful movement. "Commander," reported Communications Officer Dell, her voice tight with concern. "I'm picking up some kind of transmission from the planet's surface. It's not radio or any electromagnetic frequency we recognize. It's something else entirely. Can you decode it?" "Working on it, ma'am. But it's unlike anything in our databases. The pattern suggests it's not artificial communication. It's more like listening to the planet itself speak." Vera felt a chill run through her exoskeleton. Her people had always prided themselves on their technological superiority, their ability to understand and control the universe around them. But this world challenged everything they thought they knew about the nature of intelligence and civilization. In the depths of the Earth, the message was clear and simple. "We see you, we welcome you. But you must understand this world is not empty." The transmission pulsed through the planet's neural networks, carried by roots and underground rivers, amplified by the harmonic resonance of the mountain chains. Every human guardian heard it, felt it, became part of it. This was humanity's greatest achievement, not the conquest of their world, but the completion of it. Tom closed his eyes and felt the vast consciousness of the Earth flowing through him. Through the planetary network, he could sense the aliens. Confusion, their growing unease. They had come expecting to find a lifeless rock to colonize. Instead, they had discovered something their technology couldn't explain or quantify. "Should we reveal ourselves?" asked Maya, her voice carrying the weight of the decision they all faced. Tom considered the question, feeling the input from thousands of human guardians across the globe. The Earth itself seemed to pulse with anticipation, waiting for humanity to choose their path forward. Not yet, he decided. Let them struggle with what they think they understand. Sometimes the greatest lesson comes from realizing how little you truly know. Above them, Commander Vera stared at the impossible readings on her screens. The mountains had moved again, this time forming what almost looked like a defensive perimeter around the most geologically active regions. And now, her sensors were detecting similar movement in mountain ranges across the entire planet. Whatever intelligence governed this world, it was waking up, and it was vast beyond comprehension. For 3 days, the Windcatcher maintained its orbit, while the Kalari struggled to comprehend what they were witnessing. The mountain ranges across the planet had begun moving in coordinated patterns, creating geometric formations that defied natural explanation. Commander Vera had called for reinforcements, but the nearest Kalari fleet was months away. "Commander, you need to see this," Nix called from his station, his voice carrying an unusual tremor. "The planet's surface temperature is rising in specific locations. The patterns are forming symbols." Vera hurried to the geological station, where holographic displays showed the Earth's surface mapped in thermal imaging. The hot spots weren't random. They spelled out complex mathematical equations, star charts, and what looked like blueprints for advanced technology. "It's trying to communicate," she breathed. "More than that," Nix replied, adjusting his instruments. "It's showing us technology we've never seen before. Look at this propulsion design. It would revolutionize space travel." In the depths of the Himalayas, Dr. James Patel, one of Earth's senior guardians, smiled as he felt the planet's excitement flowing through the neural network. The decision had been made collectively. If these aliens were seeking knowledge, humanity and Earth would show them wonders beyond their imagination. "Phase 2 is active," he reported to the global network. "The knowledge transfer has begun." Across the planet, human guardians worked in harmony with their world to create the most spectacular display of intelligence the galaxy had ever witnessed. Desert sands shifted to form mathematical proofs. Ocean currents carved temporary channels that demonstrated principles of physics. Even the aurora borealis danced in patterns that revealed the secrets of energy manipulation. The Kalari crew watched in stunned silence as their instruments recorded breakthrough after breakthrough. Technologies that should have taken their civilization centuries to develop were being demonstrated in real time on the planet's surface. "How is this possible?" whispered Engineer Ross, his tentacles pressed against the observation deck's surface. "No single species could accumulate this much knowledge." "Maybe it's not a single species," suggested Navigator Kale, his scales shimmering with excitement. "What if this is something else entirely? A collective intelligence that's been developing for millions of years?" Commander Vera felt the weight of command pressing down on her. Her people needed a new world, but they were clearly dealing with an intelligence far beyond their understanding. The ethical implications were staggering. "Del, try to establish proper communication," she ordered. "If this intelligence is trying to share knowledge with us, perhaps we can learn its intentions." The communications officer had been working tirelessly to decode the planet's transmissions. "I think I've found a pattern, Commander. The signals aren't random. They're responding to our presence, our scans, even our conversations. It's like the planet is listening to us." In the Colorado Rockies, Tom Martinez felt the shift in the aliens' approach. Their scanning had become more respectful, more curious than invasive. The Earth's consciousness pulsed with approval. "They're learning," he reported to the network. "Time for Phase 3. What happened next would be recorded in Kalari history as the most profound first contact ever experienced. The mountains didn't just move, they transformed. Ancient peaks unfolded like massive flowers, revealing crystalline structures that hummed with energy. Bioluminescent patterns flowed across their surfaces, creating a light show visible from orbit. But the most shocking revelation came when the transforming mountains revealed the cities hidden within their hearts. Not crude settlements carved from stone, but living architecture that merged so perfectly with the natural environment that even advanced sensors couldn't distinguish between them. By the Great Spiral, Vera gasped as her screen showed the truth. The planet isn't uninhabited. It's home to the most advanced civilization we've ever encountered. The cities that emerged were marvels of biological engineering. Towers that grew like trees, transportation networks that flowed like rivers, and everywhere, the seamless integration of technology and nature that represented centuries of cooperative evolution. And then, for the first time, the Kaluri saw the inhabitants. Humans emerged from their bioarchitectural homes, but they moved with a grace and purpose that spoke of their deep connection to their world. Their cities pulsed with the same rhythm as the mountains, the same neural patterns that the Kaluri sensors had detected. "Commander," Del reported, her voice filled with awe, "I'm receiving a direct transmission. It's in our language." The message was simple but profound. "Welcome, star travelers. We are humanity, guardians of Earth. We have been waiting for you to understand that intelligence takes many forms. Would you like to learn?" Vera realized that her people's search for a new home had led them to something far more valuable than an empty planet to colonize. They had discovered teachers who could show them how to live in harmony with the universe itself. The greatest gift wasn't conquest, it was wisdom. The first face-to-face meeting took place in a natural amphitheater that hadn't existed the day before. As the Kalari shuttle descended toward the landing coordinates, Commander Vera watched in amazement as the Earth itself seemed to prepare for their arrival. Trees grew taller to provide shade, flowers bloomed to create welcome patterns, and a gentle stream emerged from underground springs to provide the sound of flowing water. Tom Martinez stood waiting as the shuttle touched down, his weathered hands clasped behind his back. He appeared completely human, but Vera's enhanced senses detected something else, a bioelectric field that connected him to every living thing around him. When he moved, the plant seemed to lean toward him slightly, as if drawn by an invisible force. "Commander Vera of the Kalari," Tom said, his voice carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate through the ground itself. "Welcome to Earth. I am Tom, speaking for both humanity and our world." Vera approached cautiously, her scientific mind racing to process what she was experiencing. "Your people have been hidden from our sensors for days. How is this possible?" "We're not hidden," Tom replied with a gentle smile. "You've been looking for the wrong things. Your instruments search for artificial structures, electromagnetic signatures, the scars that most civilizations leave on their worlds, but we chose a different path long ago." He gestured to the amphitheater around them, and Vera realized that what appeared to be natural formations were actually carefully designed spaces. The rock formations provided perfect acoustics, the tree placement created ideal lighting, and the stream's flow had been precisely calculated to create a calming atmosphere. "Integration," she breathed, understanding dawning. "You didn't conquer your world, you joined it, and it joined us," Tom confirmed. "The relationship is symbiotic. We provide consciousness, creativity, and purpose. The Earth provides wisdom, stability, and power beyond anything we could achieve alone." Behind Vera, Nix and the other Kalari observers were frantically taking readings, their instruments detecting energy patterns they had never encountered before. The entire area pulsed with a living rhythm that defied classification. "The knowledge displays we witnessed," Vera said. "The technology demonstrations, was that all you're doing?" Tom's expression grew thoughtful. "Ours and Earth's together. Over the centuries, humanity has served as the planet's memory banks, storing and organizing knowledge. But the Earth provides the computational power to process that information in ways we never could alone. The technologies you saw aren't just human innovations. They're the result of a billion-year-old intelligence working with human creativity. A billion years? Engineer Ross stepped forward, his tentacles writhing with excitement. You're saying your planet has been conscious for that long? Conscious, yes. But not self-aware in the way you understand it. That's what humanity brought. To the partnership self-reflection, the ability to ask why instead of just how. We gave the Earth the gift of wonder. Maya Shun emerged from a grove of trees that seemed to part for her passage. Like Tom, she carried the same bioelectric signature, the same sense of being more than just human. And in return, the Earth gave us wisdom. The kind that comes from experiencing every season, every storm, every moment of growth and change for millions of years. Vera felt overwhelmed by the implications. Her people had spent centuries developing technology to control their environment, to impose their will on the universe. But these humans had chosen cooperation over domination, and the results were staggering. "Why reveal yourselves to us?" she asked. "You could have remained hidden. Let us believe the planet was empty." Tom and Maya exchanged a look that seemed to carry volumes of unspoken communication. "Because the Earth sensed something in your people that resonated with our own history," Tom explained. "You're refugees, aren't you? Your world is dying." Vera's scales rippled with surprise. They had shared no information about their circumstances, but somehow these humans knew. "The Earth remembers the feeling," Maya continued. "Long ago, our world was dying too, poisoned by those who didn't understand the cost of their actions. We nearly lost everything before we learned to listen instead of just taking. We're offering you something more valuable than an empty planet to colonize," Tom said. "We're offering you the chance to learn how to save your own world." The implications hit Vera like a physical blow. All this time, her people had been searching for a new home when what they really needed was knowledge, the wisdom to heal the world they already had. "The technologies you demonstrated," she said slowly, "could they reverse the damage to our star system?" "Not just reverse it," Maya replied, her eyes bright with possibility. "They could create a harmony between your people and your environment that would last for millennia. But it requires a fundamental change in thinking. You would need to stop seeing yourselves as separate from your world." Vera looked at her crew, seeing the same mix of hope and uncertainty in their expressions that she felt. This wasn't the solution they had expected to find, but it might be exactly what they needed. "What would you ask in return?" she said. Tom smiled, and for a moment, the entire amphitheater seemed to pulse with warmth. "Nothing. Knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. The Earth has waited so long to meet other intelligences among the stars. You would be giving us the greatest gift of all, the chance to help others find their own path to harmony." For the first time in centuries, Commander Vera felt truly hopeful about her people's future. 3 months later, the first Kolari delegation arrived at Earth not as colonists, but as students. Commander Vera had returned to her people with proposals that revolutionized their understanding of civilization itself. The dying star that had threatened their home system could be healed using biostellar technology that Earth and humanity had developed through their partnership. But the real transformation was happening to the Kolari themselves. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, Navigator Kale pressed his scaled palm against the bark of a massive tree, his eyes closed in concentration. Around him, human guardians waited patiently as he experienced his first connection to Earth's neural network. The sensation was overwhelming suddenly. He could feel the pulse of sap through thousands of trees, the chemical conversations between plants, the vast web of life that connected every living thing on the planet. "I can feel everything," he whispered, his voice filled with wonder. "How do you maintain your individuality in something so vast?" Dr. Patel, who had become Kale's guide, smiled. "You don't lose yourself, you find more of yourself than you ever knew existed. The Earth doesn't absorb consciousness. It amplifies it." Across the planet, similar scenes were playing out as Kalari volunteers underwent the gradual process of neural integration. Not all of them could make the full connection. It required a fundamental shift in thinking that some minds couldn't accommodate. But those who succeeded discovered abilities they had never imagined. Engineer Ross had become fascinated with biomechanical integration, working with human engineers to develop living spacecraft that could repair themselves and adapt to different environments. His tentacles had proven surprisingly adept at interfacing with Earth's organic technology, creating hybrid systems that combined Kalari precision with terrestrial intuition. "The efficiency is incredible," he reported to Vera during one of their regular communications. "A living ship doesn't just travel through space, it understands space, adapts to it, works with it instead of fighting it." But the most dramatic changes were happening in the Kalari home system. Using Earth's biostellar healing technology, teams of human Kalari hybrids were working to restore their dying star. The process was slow but steady, requiring a delicate balance of energy, manipulation, and stellar chemistry that only their combined knowledge could achieve. Commander Vera stood on the observation deck of the new hybrid vessel Worldsong, watching as her homeworld appeared on the screens. For the first time in centuries, the sky was clear, the oceans were blue, and cities were growing in harmony with the natural landscape. "Your people have embraced the change remarkably well," Tom observed, joining her at the viewing portal. He had volunteered to help establish the first Earth-style biocities on the Kalari homeworld, and his presence had become a bridge between the two species. "Not all of them," Vera admitted. "Some of our people struggle with the concept of partnership over dominance. But the younger generation understands instinctively." Through the ship's neural network, she could feel the pulse of both worlds, Earth's ancient wisdom and her homeworld's renewed vitality. The connection was growing stronger each day as more Kalari learned to join the network, adding their unique perspectives to the collective consciousness. "What happens now?" Vera asked. "Our worlds are healing, our people are learning. But I sense there's something more." Tom's expression grew thoughtful, and through their shared connection, Vera felt his excitement mixed with anticipation. The Earth has been listening to the stars for millions of years, but it could never reach out on its own. Now with spacefaring partners like your people, it can finally make contact with other worlds that might need help, other worlds that might be ready to join the network. Imagine it a galaxy-wide consciousness where every planet, every species, contributes their unique gifts to the whole. Not conquest or colonization, but cooperation on a scale never before imagined. Maya Chun's voice joined their conversation through the neural link. She was currently working on a water world in a distant star system, helping an aquatic species learn to heal their polluted oceans. "The Cetacean Collective has agreed to the partnership," she reported. "Their world will be the third node in the network." Vera felt a thrill of excitement as she realized the magnitude of what they were building. Not an empire based on domination, but a community based on mutual support and shared wisdom. Each world that joined would retain its uniqueness while contributing to something greater than the sum of its parts. "And this all started because you thought our world was empty," Tom said with a chuckle. "The best discoveries often come from being completely wrong about what you expect to find," Vera replied. "We came looking for a new home and found a new way of living." As the Worldsong continued its journey toward the next system that had requested help, Vera reflected on how much had changed. The Kalari had stopped seeing themselves as refugees from a dying world and had become partners in healing the galaxy itself. The mountains had moved, And in their movement, they had shifted the entire universe toward a future where intelligence and compassion worked hand in hand among the stars. Humanity had indeed proven special, not through conquest or dominance, but through their ability to see beyond themselves and embrace something greater. They had taken a dying world and made it live again, then shared that gift with anyone willing to learn. The galaxy would never be the same.